Why are young men giving up on dating? The title isn't what I originally posted, but my post kept on being removed. I thought it would be better to ask on this sub instead of dating advice, because I think the replies from this sub would be much more understanding. I've just been watching a video on YouTube about how a lot of young men are leaving society, and this is something I've very recently done as well. I had to really weigh up the pros and cons of doing this, but last week I decided to unfollow every girl on my Instagram account. It's not because I'm misogynistic, because I'm not that at all. It's more to do with how the average man has shown how easily disposable he is, how dating apps have completely ruined the dating market. There's a lot more reasons as to why I've just decided to go my own way. The constant feeling of wanting affection all stems from social media. I came to the realization that I'm doing nothing but wasting my time by talking to girls that only want to talk on Instagram, but wouldn't even pick up the phone for a call, let alone meet up. It's a waste of time watching their stories and liking their pictures, because that's time and effort that I could be putting towards my hobbies. I'm a 23-year-old guy, and I don't think this subject is talked about anywhere near as much as it should be. But why is that? This is a problem that will only get worse over time, and the stats for that don't lie either. Has anyone else decided to do this as well? Story 1. I'm 22, and in my experience, dating apps just completely ruined dating in general for me. I used to be really confident and wouldn't think twice about going up to a girl I found attractive. But once I got out of a serious relationship that was very damaging, my self-esteem was really affected and my social skills were dropped to zero. And as a result, I thought I would try dating apps to get back out there. And that was a huge mistake, the matching, and then being ignored and rejected constantly has just made it all worse. Low-key, I want a relationship someday, but I struggle with confidence so much, and I don't see any way of getting it back. So IDK, what's going to happen in the future? Someone replied, real life is the only place to approach women in my opinion. I've never used a dating app in my life and never will. Those apps, thousands of guys all vying for one woman. In real life, one guy vying for one woman. The odds are way better, and if you're remotely clean, well-dressed, well-spoken, and/or funny, you have a decent chance at her at least conversing a bit. Some women I've approached I ended up being good friends with instead. Yes, men and women can be friends. Anyone who says otherwise is weird as fuck in the head. Seriously, it kills me seeing all these younger guys damn near suicidal because they're too shy to engage women unless it's on an app. Delete those apps, it makes everyone fake. I see guys gesturing for women on that Tinder sub, and it's nuclear-grade cringe. The desperation, the hacky jokes they probably send to everyone, it's all soul-crushing to witness. Also, as you get older, it becomes way, way easier. Women have no problem initiating flirting as they get older. At least that's been my experience. They know what they want, and they're usually past playing games at that point, if not, run. But at least dress decent. Don't have a nappy old Unabomber Bush Reddit mod beard or an unkempt haircut. Keep your fingernails trimmed and clean, and don't drag your feet when you walk. And nice shoes, belt, and watch go a long way. Story 2. I haven't asked anyone on a date in 4 years now, and coincidentally, it's been the longest stretch of time in my life that I haven't hated myself since I was 10. There are plenty of other things I can enjoy in life that are far less costly to my bank account, my self-esteem, and my friendships. Plus, the whole idea of going on dates on a cold start just to get to know someone just feels awkward and unnatural. Too many one-sided standards that I have to carefully navigate around at just the right pace for her to even care about me. Forget it. Story 3. After my last couple of experiences, I've decided I'm taking time away from the whole dating game. I've tried my best through the years, but it's not been a fruitful experience overall. It's been difficult trying my best and seeing that my best doesn't move the needle very much at all. Continual one-and-done dates are tiring. Personally, it's a lot of effort to talk with someone for a while and figure out a time to meet. I don't have an issue with the other party deciding this isn't for them, but after having this happen consistently, I can't muster up the energy mentally to try again. I've tried to fake it till I make it and to be myself. But alas, the feedback from my dates seems to be to try and do the opposite of whatever I present. At this point, I can't figure out what to do, and I feel like a bit of a Frankenstein's monster in terms of personality. I think I just need to do me and not have dating stuck in the back of my mind. Trying to match the speed of the other person doesn't seem to be working. I've had a situation where the other party moved things quickly, and when I tried to match it, it wasn't received well. I've tried to go slow, and that didn't get received well either. I don't like this game where I have to guess whether I should match or be different. It's been covered, but I feel like I'm told consistently I'm not good enough. It is just downright depressing to hear that when I try to put my best foot forward to find out I didn't stand a chance. I try to take away something from my outings, but it's reached the point where I'm not good enough comes up often enough that I can't process that anymore. I'm trying my best to be reflective of things, but I think I've just hit the point where I can't do it anymore. It's better to step away for a while and not think about it, as it seems to be a path to perpetually hurt myself. Sucks, but can only look after yourself. Everything else is out of my control. Story 4. I'm 29, suffered through 2 abusive relationships, dated cool people too, but that was in my younger years. There's only so much effort I can put into something so punishing. All the time and effort I've put into dating has led me to getting abused, stood up, ghosted, or otherwise rejected. Of course, I know that not every woman I meet will put me through that. In fact, the majority of them are chill, normal people. I just happen to be meeting the bad apples. To put into perspective just how much effort I've been putting into it, I took a break from dating to put that energy into new skills and landed myself a job that doubled my salary. It was legitimately easier for me to double my household income in the span of a year than it was to get someone to go on more than 2 dates with me. And it's not like I'm a hideous-looking person. I think a lot of factors play into it. Online dating definitely isn't doing us any favors. Story 5. It's simple for me, really, and as another Redditor from a different thread worded it, I just hate the way people make me feel. I hate feeling like I'm being compared to others all the time. I hate feeling like I'm in some kind of audition line. I hate feeling like I'm giving others a part of me, or opening up to them so they can inspect if I'm good enough, at the risk of being thrown out and treated like some kind of unwashed animal when I'm found wanting. I'm tired of feeling like I need to be constantly presenting to somebody. I hate feeling like I need approval before I can validate my existence. It's just the weird wrapper that has been put around dating in general, and the quite frankly cruel, ignorant, and unnecessary implications made towards you when you aren't successful at it, that just irritates me to the point where I just don't want to do it anymore. I have a couple good friends and my dog. I don't need anyone else, and I'm not putting myself out there to attract anyone anymore. It just all feels like such a waste, and I owe it to myself to live for more than someone else's approval. There just doesn't seem to be any reward for all the stress it causes. Also, please note, and TBH, it annoys me that I even have to clarify this. I absolutely do not hate anyone of any gender in any conceivable way. It's simply the seemingly desolate, downtrodden role that I seem to be expected to play in society and in social settings that I'm rejecting. I'm not even against having a relationship, but I'm not going to waste my life looking for something I'm likely to not find. Story 6. Women today are pickier than ever, and a lot of guys just aren't good enough for a lot of them. There's always someone better for them on Tinder or whatever. They might like you okay, but the next guy that pops up might be better looking, etc. Guys are tired of and afraid of just constant rejection and not being good enough, so they just don't try anymore. Story 7. I'm 29 and haven't given up on it entirely. If it comes, it comes. I'm not desperately going out of my way to find it, unfortunately. I'm too focused with my life ATM. Relationships are tough and a lot of hard work. If you want it to work, you have to make it to work. And that includes both parties having to put in effort. Not just that as well, you have to find the right compatibility to see if she will be the partner for you too. Otherwise, it's a waste of time and resources. Story 8. Why? Because online dating apps have changed the game. When I was younger, the men I was competing against were the other men in the pub where I was trying to meet women. That's fair and reasonable. Now young men are competing against thousands of other men, and the average guy can't stand out from the crowd. Of course they are going to give up because you cannot lose if you do not play. If you want to meet women, do it in real life while you are doing something that you enjoy. It's much easier. Story 9. The last 3 girls I asked out on a dating app said, "I don't go on dates with guys I don't know." I'm mostly just confused about why they're on a dating app. I'm not done dating. Got a date with a great girl on Thursday, but I'm pretty done with dating apps. Someone replied, "A lot of girls just use apps for validation with no intention of meeting up." Story 10. Man, yeah, feeling disposable but having to act as a provider at the same time is pretty stressful. Girl I was with recently said she didn't care about how much money she makes. I'm like, okay, cool. But if I don't work 10 extra hours this week, we can't go on that trip and you'll be fucking pissed. And if I work 10 extra hours, you're gonna be pissed anyway. Like it's just a balance of stresses. I used to tell myself straight out of college, do not fall for another woman. You know what will happen. Don't do it. I'm a pretty good looking guy, managed a big gym, and had a lot of women go after me, which felt nice. But I don't like hookups. One girl comes around I think is smart and is interested in marriage and a life together. I'm like, okay, let's do it. 2 years later and a shit ton of money lost in a state, away in a city where I don't know anyone, in a different job than I wanted, and I'm here wishing I kept listening to my younger self. Story 11. Too much effort for very low reward, if any. The dating world has changed mostly because of the internet, and in a way that a certain MO and certain attributes are best seen and are more likely to work. Several men can't fit this checklist, no matter how much they try. Some people might say that you're supposed to leave dating apps and go out in the real world and try it out. Easier said than done. As if rejection wasn't bad enough, there's the risk of being inconvenient or even be misinterpreted as abusive. I'm not going to believe that this is a viable option when women both online and off say that they don't want that shit, with no exceptions. In the end, it's just not worth the hassle. I'd like to be with someone. Most perfect story would be with any of the people I met in the past when times were better. But it is what it is. I keep distracting myself from that in various ways to just keep living and brush it off when family or friends ask about it. Most have no clue how shit works nowadays. Story 12. 50% of matches on Tinder go to 10% of the men. 95% of all matches go to the top 50% of men. The bottom 50% are frozen out of the market. Women are choosing be in the serialized harems of top 10% of men instead of committing to guys on their own level. Women love dating up, and they haven't figured out that men with as many options as these men have don't commit to one woman. For young women, it's a treadmill of the ones that got away until they hit their early 30s and panic because time is about to run out, and they sense that they can't get the attention of these hot guys anymore. Huge numbers of the women who fall into this trap will die alone. Online dating is transforming us into a polygamous culture. The only people who benefit from polygamy are a handful of men at the top. Everyone else loses. Story 13. I'm 24. When I was about 6, I woke up in the middle of the night from a bad nightmare. To watch my mom in the process of sneaking out the door, I asked her, "Where are you going? Can I come with?" She said, "No, go back to bed, I'll be back in a bit." Didn't see her again for a few years. She slept around, got into drugs, and genuinely didn't care about us. She also badmouthed my dad to cover her own ass as to not look like the bad guy. Lied about shit like him beating her and other things of the sort. I was extremely attached to my mom at the time. When she left, I sat in a corner silently for several hours alone. My trust towards women was completely and absolutely destroyed. And now every relationship I have ever seen, friends, family, random strangers convos, has followed a similar route. It never lasts. And I hear the, "I still love you, I'm just not in love with you anymore" line so much it makes my blood boil, as if that's how love works at all. I honestly don't know how people even bother with dating anymore. Nobody is loyal. I keep hoping to be proven wrong, but the opposite happens. I know that's a pessimistic view, but it's all I've ever seen personally. It really doesn't help when I mention my hesitation with relationships, and a friend that's been in a month long, one looks as goes, "Oh, well, what about insert GF name? She's loyal." Like, yeah, okay, buddy. Can't wait for you to call me at 3 a.m. crying and talking about suicide because she cheated on you, got bored of you. I am going to die alone, and I think I'll be happier for it in the long run. Sorry for being pessimistic. Story 14. I will get downvoted for this. I've lived in Europe, UK and France, for 7 years in Asia, Hong Kong, for a Wadwarar. I'm an American and live in USA now in NYC today, in 30s now. I have realized that American women tend to be a bit more self-centered, entitled, and superficial. European women, at least one in my social circle, were far more open to dialogues of all kinds and open for genuine friendships, relationships, etc., without the bullshit attitude. They looked at me as a male, friend, potential romantic partner, etc., as long as we established good connection. With American women here in NYC, always the feeling of a woman with the attitude of prove your worth to me, entertain me, make me pick you over 30 other guys after me. Much more materialistic and superficial also. After having experienced social, dating, friendship scenes overseas, I could never adapt to American way. Needless to say, I never went back. I happened to meet a beautiful woman from Europe in NYC, and we dated for 2 years before getting married. Been married for 4 years now, happily. If I didn't meet my wife, I would have probably quit my job in NYC and moved back to Europe. I already miss my friends there. Best of luck to single bros out there. It ain't easy. Hang in there. Story 15. Is it any wonder? It's a nightmare to date. Online dating, women treat you like you're disposable. Match and never talk. You're expected to impress a woman immediately, right out from the opener, and anticipate all her needs. Does she want to go on a date quickly? Does she prefer to text a lot before meeting? Does she like cocktails or coffee or a nature date? You're supposed to know and anticipate all these things before they're communicated, and if not, unmatched. Misstep or say one wrong thing, and you're out. You talk and text, and maybe if you're lucky you earn to go on a date, which you have to pay for. Then on the date, you put all the effort in trying to impress a person you're not even sure you like yet because you're basically putting all the effort to be interesting, tell jokes, and bring up an anecdotes. Then you pay for everything. Whether it's a good or bad date, it starts feeling like a job you hate, but you're stuck working, dating it because you want to make money, have partnership, love affection. You might not even like her much on the date, but you have no other option because women date men better than them online. So you never feel like you're dating a woman on your level, career-wise, emotional maturity, etc. Or it never happens and she flakes on you. Or you have a great date and she flakes on the second date for absolutely no reason and you're stuck in text purgatory along with 50 other guys she's texting. Or you get into a relationship and you're basically supporting her 24/7, emotionally, financially, physically, putting out fires while also dealing with your problems and keeping silence so you can be her rock. And don't even think about bringing it up and you have to keep doing it. Don't think for 1 second you think you can relax. It's very much, what have you done for me lately? Vibe to relationships. Even the sex is one-sided. I have to sit there and do cardio on top of you for 45 minutes when her straight, while all my abs, forearms, and back feel like they're burning, and I have to have perfect control of everything going on while also letting go and being passionate, while also kissing you and making you feel desired, while also not coming and making sure you come. And I have to compete with a 500 fucking horsepower vibrator, originally made for some industrial function because she's desensitized and that's what she's used to. I mean, it's this constant inequality and just having to worry 24/7 if I'm doing enough and always feeling like you're not doing enough. You feel disposable and like you don't matter and worthless. If you like stories like these, please make sure to like and subscribe for more. If I can hit 1,000 subs, I can put out longer stories more often. If you have any opinions on these stories, let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed today's story time, and I hope to hear from you all soon.